future's awesome. We're riding teaching, they both belong. Join the conference, it's gonna be lit. Curipod fam, you don't wanna miss it. In this digital age, we've got them online. No need to travel, no waiting in line. From the comfort of home, our passion tastes light. Afraid we divide us, but our heart bars are right. Can't attend live, don't let it dismay. Plays on the way, just a click, no delay. Curicon, the future's awesome. We're riding teaching, they both belong. Join the conference, it's gonna be lit. Curipod fam, you don't wanna miss it. So spread the word, let the assignment unfold. Curikin's the place for teachers, it's our world. In the rhyme of life, together we'll find. Our Curikin, let make the future come alive.
Welcome back to our exhilarating leadership day here at Curicon. I'm Amanda Fox, your host and Curipod community manager. We're delving into the future of education, exploring innovative strategies, and embracing the transformative power of AI. As we move forward in our educational journey, it's crucial to adapt and lead with innovation. And that's exactly what we're going to cover in this next session. I'm thrilled to introduce our esteemed global speaker, Dan Fitzpatrick, author of the AI Classroom. Dan is a visionary in educational leadership, and in this session, he's going to guide us through the intricacies of leadership in the future, educational strategies in the AI era. In this session, we'll explore the revolutionary three-box solution to AI-driven innovation. It's not just about understanding AI, it's about implementing it strategically to shape the future. Dan will share insights, practical strategies, and actionable steps to help you secure your leadership for tomorrow. So let's bring him up. Hi, Dan. It's nice to have you back today.
Hey, Amanda. It's good to be back. Although I think we're in different days. I think you're in yesterday for me. I'm in Thursday now.
Happy Thursday.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. The future's good.
This is a throwback Thursday. You're throwing back to Wednesday, my Wednesday. And Maggie's excited about it too.
She's never met anyone from the future before, so she's excited. It's good to see you. I was wondering what the intro video, the song, did you get AI to create that?
I did. It was a multi-step. I was just playing around with the AI voice model. So I used UberDuck AI.
Right.
I downloaded it as an MP3 and then I put it into Voicify AI and I did a Kendrick Lamar voice model and then I layered the two tracks. So
that sounds good. Sounds like it's been professionally done.
Thank you. It took a while. Yeah. It took a couple of iterations to make it sound good. I tried to make a new one for each day, and I just didn't have enough time to finesse it. So we're sticking with that one.
Yeah, no, it's good. I really like it. It's cool. It's amazing what you can do. Yeah. Shall we get started? Because I'm aware I kind of ran out of time yesterday. So
I don't want to take your time today. I want to get into the goodies and the goodness. So I'm going to bring this up. Oop. And that's not what I meant to do. Remove. Hold up. There we go. And I'm going to pop down and let you have the stage.
Fantastic. Thank you. I'm hoping my voice is going to last out. I've got a bit of a sore throat. So, yeah, let's delve into it. I was on yesterday, which was kind of a bit of an introduction to sorry, I got distracted there by Ken's message. Don't put the pressure on, Ken. Come on. Yeah, it's good to be with you. And yesterday I kind of tried to give a bit of an introduction into what we were going to do today. So yesterday, if you weren't with us yesterday, I kind of spent about 20 minutes just kind of looking at the different types of AI and how much it's kind of progressing. And what I want to do is I want to take us a bit further into kind of some of the crazy types of progression, simply because I want to make the case that the education system is going to need to embrace something called non-linear innovation. So if you don't know who I am, I was a high school teacher for a number of years in the northeast of England, still in the northeast of England, if you're wondering what this strange accent is, if you're not in England. I'm from a place called Newcastle, and I was on the leadership team for the high school, then moved into college education where I was a strategic director for digital innovation, and also was privileged to be able to write the AI classroom book, The Ultimate Guide to Artificial Intelligence Education, which I know a lot of you yesterday on the call have got. If you haven't got it, you can get it on Amazon. It's about 400 pages long, goes into a lot of detail, and really privileged to have Amanda as co-author on there as well. Currently writing Leadership in the Future, Educational Strategy in the AI Era, which is kind of going to be a lot of what I'm talking about over the next 25 minutes. So I'm hoping it's going to come out early next year, probably around March time. Obviously these things take a bit of time, and I'm still writing it. So if anyone's got any ideas, shoot them over. That would be amazing. So what I want to do is I just want to go back. I want to go back to 1997. So I was 11 years old in 1997, and I remember my parents bought a PC. And if you remember, those of you who were old enough to remember 1997, they were huge, weren't they? Massive PCs. You would dial up internet, so you couldn't use the telephone in the house while you were dialing into the internet and so on. And I remember my parents buying this, and it went in the corner of the dining room, and we never really touched it, to be honest. I think I remember playing around on it when my parents went out one day and just seeing what I could do. I didn't really know what I was doing, and I think my parents kind of felt the same way, and they sent it back. So after a few months, they sent it back. I think probably got their money back, and that was it. That was kind of the extent of having a computer in my house until a few years later. But if you remember the internet back then, this was pre-Google, so we're going back to a very basic browser, very basic email. There wasn't all that much else going on in that computer, and you might remember websites like this. I mean, I don't know if anyone knows which website this is. This evolved into a huge website and still is a huge website today. So this is eBay's website in 1997. This is Pizza Hut's website in 1997. Look, check that out. We got NASA's homepage website in 1997. Goosebumps. Anyone remember Goosebumps? I used to love Goosebumps at school. Absolutely fascinated by Goosebumps. And then they brought the Choose Your Own Adventure Goosebumps. Blew me away. Amazing. What I want to do is I want to just show you a video. And this video is Bill Gates appearing on David Letterman. And Letterman's question him about the internet. And I want to show, because I think it gives a really good insight into kind of how the internet was viewed back then, at least in mainstream anyway.
But I think about this, and what about this internet thing? Do you know anything about that?
Sure.
What the hell is that exactly?
Well, it's become a place where people are publishing information.
Right.
So everybody can have their own homepage. Companies are there, the latest information. It's wild what's going on. You can send electronic mail to people. It is the big new thing.
Yeah, but it's easy to criticize something you don't fully understand, which is my position here.
Go ahead.
But I can remember a couple of months ago, there was like a big breakthrough announcement that on the internet or on some computer deal, they were going to broadcast a baseball game. You could listen to a baseball game on your computer. And I just thought to myself, does radio ring a bell? You know what I
mean? There's a difference.
There is a difference.
It's not a huge difference.
What is the difference?
But you can listen to the baseball game whenever you want.
All right.
Too.
Oh, I see. So it's stored in one of your memory deals.
Exactly.
And then you can come
That's
back
the
a year
RAM
later.
thing you talked about earlier.
Yeah. Do tape recorders ring a bell? Yeah, I just don't know. What can you, just knowing me the little you know me now, what am I missing here? What do I need?
Well, if you want to learn about the latest cigars or auto racing
right.
Statistics.
Well, I've got that covered. I subscribe to 2 British magazines. devoted entirely to motorsports, and I call the Quaker State Speed Line about 2 times a half hour. So now, would the computer give me more than I'm getting that way?
Well, you can find other people who have the same unusual interests you do, and
You mean the troubled loner chat room on the internet?
absolutely.
So hopefully you can kind of get from that. He's literally making fun of him for the internet. 1997. Let me just move on because does anyone remember Napster? Wow, I forgot to put that slide in actually. Talk about legislation, talk about needing law to catch up with us now. I think there's a really nice parallel between the artificial intelligence stage that we're going through at the moment and kind of where we were in those late 90s with Napster. Right, fast forward 10 years. So we've got 1997, pre-Google, basic internet, basic websites, making fun of the internet. What can it do? What can it really change? Fast forward 10 years and you get this groundbreaking moment. Steve Jobs standing on stage and introducing the iPhone. Introducing the iPhone. Just 10 years later. I don't know about you, but maybe I'm just showing my age, but 10 years doesn't seem like long. Like 2013 feels like it was yesterday. In just 10 years, from 1997 to 2007, we go from basic computers, basic PCs, basic internet, to the technology that we all know and love today, cloud-based mobile technology. The progress that we went through is crazy. Go back to 1997. Could we have imagined this is where we would have been only 10 years later, and the progress that we would have went through? You might have seen this meme. Everything in this picture is now in your pocket. I love this meme because it's so true, and it really speaks to the disruption that technology had, and the internet and mobile and cloud technology had on so many other businesses and so many other products and services that we use. Going back to that picture, when Steve Jobs stood on stage and he introduced the iPhone, I don't know if, by the way, go watch it, type it into YouTube and watch it because it's a masterpiece in presentation and public speaking, how to launch a product. If you're into any of that stuff, go watch it. I think I probably watch it about once a month. I just like when I'm working, just put it on. It's amazing. Steve Jobs stands on stage. Nobody really knew he was going to introduce the iPhone. And he talks about how they're going to update the iPod. There's going to be a new iPod. And then he says, we're also going to create a phone. And then he says, we're also going to revolutionize how you access the internet. And at first, everyone thinks it's 3 products. And he just keeps saying it. He goes, the iPod, the phone, the internet. And he says it a few times, and suddenly people in the audience start catching on. He's not talking about 3 products. He's talking about one product, the iPhone. At the time, it was going to disrupt how we communicate on a phone, right? It was going to disrupt how we access the internet. It's going to disrupt the MP3 players like the iPod. Little did we know how much kind of further disruption it would have on so many other parts of our world, on some other parts of our industry and the market and so on. Have a look at this picture. What do you think the link is? Just give you a few seconds to think about it. Put it in the chat if you can. I'm not going to dwell on it too long though, just for time. But what we see here on the right-hand side is an autonomous driving car. So the guy's got his hands behind his head to indicate that he's not driving. On the left-hand side, we've got a can of energy drink, Red Bull. It's really tricky, this. And I show it to emphasize how tricky it is to forecast the disruption that new technology will have in our world. Now, what if I told you that 2/3 of energy drinks are sold at motorway service stations? Anybody got the link yet? It's the disruption that the autonomous self-driving car is going to have on the energy drinks market. Because who's going to need to pull over and get a Red Bull anymore if you're tired? All you got to do is sit back. If you're tired, have a nap even. If we're going to be able to do that, maybe we'll have to stay alert. But there's not going to be the need to be able to stay awake. It's going to have a massive disruption on the energy drinks market. Now, a lot of people, when they look at autonomous vehicles and the disruption it's going to have on existing car companies, on infrastructure, we could sit and mind map all of the disruption. I bet we could sit and mind map all of the disruption for a good half an hour and still not come to the conclusion of the energy drinks market. A lot of disruption we just can't see. Now, you're going to get a lot of people, including myself, talking about the disruption that AI is going to bring, especially to education, because that's why we're all here. However, what I spend a lot of my time thinking about is the disruption that we can't even predict yet. And we'll get there. We'll get there quite fast. Things that we can't even make links to yet. So how do we prepare for a future? How do we prepare to take education into the future when we don't even know the disruptions that are going to happen? And I think that's the $1 million question at the moment. It's easy to prepare for things we can see and things that we know. Well, I say it's easy. It still takes a lot of time and a lot of convincing. But it's the things that we don't know that's going to be the most difficult thing, I think, that we're going to face as an education system. Now, Amanda at the start mentioned that I love using the 3-box solution to innovation. It's used by companies all around the world to do exactly that, to do exactly what I've just said, in order to prepare for disruption that we can't even predict yet. So what is it? Let me take you through it. So businesses around the world who use this strategy are encouraged to think of what they're doing in 3 different boxes. So we've got box 1. It's what we're currently doing. So if you think about it, I'll kind of speak about it from a business point of view. What I want you to do while you're listening is to translate this into how this might be relevant for your school, college, university, even the education system in general. So box 1 is what a business already does. It's what it's doing every day. It's the products, the services, it's the things that are helping it to succeed. It's the systems, the processes, it's all of that. It's all in box 1. It's the performance engine. It's what keeps the business going. Now we can innovate in box 1. This type of innovation tends to be called linear innovation because it's kind of moving in one direction, and that direction is making the box 1 a bit better, making it more efficient, helping it to get more efficient and stepping in that direction of optimizing the current system. There's a problem with that type of innovation. It's amazing. It can do really well, and we need it. It's needed. However, there's a major flaw, and that is there's a ceiling. So that type of innovation is going to hit a ceiling at some point, and that's because all it does is it makes the current way of doing things more efficient or better. Now, what happens if something comes along, an external factor that majorly disrupts our box 1, that even could make our box 1 irrelevant? Then what do we do? Well, we need a different type of innovation. So let's bring in box 3 here. Box 3 is where companies go to listen for weak signals. What do I mean by that? What's coming tomorrow? What's coming 5 years? What's coming 10 years? What are we hearing? What are the kind of those weak signals that are coming that might actually disrupt our box 1? And we have to start doing something about it. So companies will dedicate resources. They'll dedicate time, money, staff. I know all the things that the education system is very poor on. Right? But this is what they do. And they will come together and start to explore different things that might actually cause disruption in the future. And then they will start to think, well, what could the solutions be? And they will incubate ideas, they will scale ideas, they will fail. Some of those ideas might not come to fruition. Some of those weak signals might not come to fruition, but some of them might. And that's what's going to keep the business alive. That's what's going to revolutionize the business so that it can keep up with the times. Box 2, by the way, is essentially what led to success in box 1. That's not going to lead to success in box 3. Now we have to give up. Probably the hardest box there is. Why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about this? Because as people who lead change, and I don't care if you've got leadership as a title or you don't, I imagine that all of us, because we are in this Curipod, Curicon conference, that we're people who are leading change. Now, it might be a lot of change, it might be a tiny bit, it might be in certain small environments, might be in large environments. We're all people who are trying to push this future on. It's a simple strategy. I love it because it's simple. And I mean, what I mean by that is it's easy to communicate. And I'm telling you it because I think artificial intelligence has firmly got one foot in box 1 and one foot in box 3. Artificial intelligence will help us make what we're currently doing more efficient. Of course it will. And you'll hear loads of that. And it's really important. Goodness knows we need it. It's really, really important. The elephant in the room, though, is that it could cause major disruption to how we do things. By the way, I don't think that's a bad thing, just between me and you. It could even make what we're doing in box 1 irrelevant. So what I want to do is I want to just show you examples about why this might happen. Now, I was, if you were with me yesterday, I was gonna go through this, but I didn't have time. So let's go through it now. So what I want to do is I want to push you towards box 3. So I want to kind of make you look at it. Now we're in box 1. That's where we naturally are. But good leadership is about reaching out of box 1 and touching box 3. It's about holding them in balance. So it's healthy to look and see what might come and majorly disrupt what we're doing. So we can prepare for it, we can strategize for it. Now, for me, strategy, essentially, I love the definition of strategy of leadership in the future. That's all strategy is. It's ensuring how do we either stay or become leaders tomorrow, 5 years, 10 years time. Now, we have to have a bit of a vision. Now, remember, we're on day 1 of this technology. It's been less than a year since ChatGPT was released. Back in February, the University of Osaka released a report. Now, they trained an AI. And what they did was they trained it a bit like an image AI is trained. So, you know, image models where you can ask it to create an image, but like Midjourney, Canva does this. Curipod has these features where it will create images, give you images. So what they did was, instead of training the AI model on stock photos, for example, they give the stock photos to human participants and got human participants to look at the images. And they did MRI scans of their brain while they were looking at these images. Now, as you can imagine, different types of images, different shapes, colors, and so on, would cause the MRI scan to be different on each image. They fed the MRI scans into the AI model to train the AI model. Now, they did this a few tens of thousands of times, so it took a bit of time. And after a while, they started to realize that the AI could predict what type of image the person was looking at just based on their MRI scan. This got so good that they eventually got the participants to put down the images and close their eyes. And they said to the participants, they said, close your eyes and just imagine an image in your head. Just think of an image. And while they were imagining that image in their head, they did an MRI scan on their brain. They give the MRI scan to the AI. Now, on this image that you see here, this is from the report. The images in red at the top were what the 4 participants were thinking of. The images below is what the AI recreated just based on their MRI scan. It pretty much read their minds. Remember, on day 1 of this technology. About 3 weeks ago, Berkeley University, California in America, released something very similar. So what they did was they got somebody to listen to a Pink Floyd song, okay, and they measured the brain activity, and they give the measurements of the brain activity to the AI they were training, and the AI managed to recreate that Pink Floyd song. Okay, I'm going to let you listen to it. The first half of this is the actual Pink Floyd song. The second half is the recreation.
All it was just a break in the wall. All in all it was.
So this is the recreation now. What does an education system look like in a world where that type of technology exists? It's very rare. In fact, I don't think it ever happens where we put the technology back in the tube, toothpaste back in the tube. It's out there. Now I remember why I put the Napster slide in, and I put it in too early. Look at Napster. When Napster first came out, obviously, I remember using Napster. I don't know if anybody else here used Napster, but it was a bit shady. We didn't know the regulation. We didn't know if what we were doing was breaking the law, breaking copyright. We were sharing music, and so on. Regulation caught up with it, and obviously Napster got shut down. However, if it wasn't for Napster, we wouldn't have tools like Spotify, iTunes Music, Netflix, and so on, because the core principles of what Napster did survived into those products, the easy sharing, streaming of media. But now they're just in regulated products that are user friendly, that are mass market, that are easy to use. We're in the 1997 of AI right now, and a lot of the technology that's being produced we'll need regulation, of course, especially around some of the stuff I've just shown you. But what type of products? How's it going to evolve into the products that become mainstream? That's what I'm fascinated by. And when we've got technology that essentially mimics almost magic, how do we use that? What type of world are we living in? And also, what education system are we going to need for that? For decades, the education system has demonstrated remarkable agility in sidestepping non-linear disruption. We've got to change that. We've got to change that massively. I'm going to, just because of time, I've literally got 2 minutes left. I'm going to skip past these. Hopefully, you can see me talk somewhere soon where I'll get into this a bit more, because I've got a real... I go in depth into competition. I think the education system is about to encounter competition, the likes it's never seen before. And I think we're about to see a decentralization of education on a certain level, and in some cases, it's fascinating. But the seeds are there, and I think it's the direction it will go in. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, who created ChatGPT, said ChatGPT is a horrible product. Greg Brockman, the co-founder of OpenAI, said a year from now we'll look back fondly on the AI that exists today as quaint and antiquated. Why is Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, going to Congress regularly asking for regulation? They know that it's going to get more powerful. They know that these tools are going to get crazy. Okay, they're going to get crazy good and crazy scary at the same time. John Neal, a friend of mine, posted this a few months ago. He said the technology that young people are using today is the worst and least powerful technology they'll use in their lives, and the same holds for artificial intelligence. I don't even have time to do my chess piece. Oh man, you need to come see me talk sometime, and let me talk about this, because it's cool. It'll be in the next book. That's it. Look at that. I should be a salesman. You need to get the next book. I'll finish with this. Wayne Gretzky, ice hockey player, said, "I skate to where the puck is going to be, not where it's been." If there's a quote that sums up box 3 thinking, it's this code. If I had a school, it would be above the door on the way in. I love it. And ironically, Steve Jobs closed with this quote in 1997 when he introduced the iPhone. And I think 16 years later, we've still got a lot to learn from this. Education needs to catch up with this. We need to hold box 1 and box 3 in harmony. Please do check out the website aieducator.tools, where there's 150 AI tools for teachers, curated and searchable. Curipod's in there, a massive favorite on that website. We've just gone over 30,000 members in our AI Classroom Facebook group. If you're not in there, please come and join us. If you don't get the newsletter every Sunday, where I delve into kind of all of this on a regular basis, please do sign up. I think that's my last slide. It is, let me go back to that slide, and you can get the QR code. Oh no, I've done it again. How do I go back? Sorry, this is becoming a farce. Have you come to save me, Erica?
No, I don't want you to stop, and neither do any of these people. Don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure.
There we go. Scan the QR code. Sign up to the newsletter. Let's stay in touch, and come see me talk somewhere, because I love talking about this. And if it's just me talking to myself, it gets a bit lonely. Erica, lovely to see you. How are you doing?
Lovely to see you too. I came off of another webinar tonight, so I it was a boxing thing. But I was so excited to see that I was going to be here for you. Always good to see you. You just blew my mind when you said that we're the 1997 of AI. Oh my God, that's like I can't even comprehend that, because okay, I'm doing a session tomorrow, so I was doing some filming. Can we just age?
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is mine. That's how old I am and this is James Taylor. That's how really old I am. From probably around that time. I don't know, maybe before that. $195.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, at the time. I think I was in 8th grade. I don't know. So you were saying all that stuff. Like,
I used to love. I used to love recording songs. Did you ever record songs off the radio?
Of course.
You'd have to press like record and play at the same time.
Yeah. I know, it was great. And the Discman came out and it had skip. It was like, what? I can skip a song. But a lot of people in the chat box were saying they just can't, I can't throw my stuff away either. It's ridiculous. I have a whole closet of CDs and stuff. But thank you for this. It's always
I'm going to get to bed because it's 12:30 in the morning here.
I was going to say, that was my next question. What time is it there? I think we need to give away a swag pack, though. Is there somebody?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
Let's give it to Ken. Ken's been quite
good. I was going to say Ken. Ken, it was like, don't leave me. Oh, Mike's dropped. All right.
Yeah, so get Ken's swag bag. Also, Amanda said she's going to put a copy of the AI Classroom into Ken's swag bag, so we'll get that over to you, Ken. And yeah, I'm gonna head off because I've got to be up in 5 hours' time. So, Erica, I'll see you at FETC in January. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm just going to ask you that. Where will I see you? Wonderful. I can't wait.
I get to see you in person. Brilliant. Okay. Well, I hope the rest of Curicon goes well. It's been amazing so far, and thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being here. You're a star. So we will see you soon, hopefully. And Amanda's already in the next one, so we'll see everybody there. Thank you so much, Dan. Such a pleasure.
Care.